never like to miss a chance to confront Henry Kissinger, and I don't get that many, because when he knows I'm coming, or when he knows I'm going to be in the area, up till now he has cancelled. That's 4 times now this year. What I yearn for is the chance for some quality time with him. He refused to answer any questions when the Harper's articles were being written, but I do want to confront him and to make him realize that we're not going to stop asking.
Christopher Hitchens, as you no doubt know, is out with a new book called The Trial of Henry A. Kissinger. It is very rough on you. It is a book devoted to criticism of you.
I'm not going to deal with Christopher Hitchens. He's a man who's attacked Mother Teresa, Jackie Kennedy. He said the Holocaust never existed, and I'm not going to do him the favor of getting into a debate with him.
I can't have it said that I'm an anti-Semite or a Nazi sympathizer. That, I'm sorry, is too much. It crosses my line. And Dr. Kissinger by now will have heard, I think, from my lawyers, that he's to cease and desist from saying what he knows to be false.
I haven't read his book. I frankly was so disgusted by his magazine piece. Look at this guy's background. He's a sewer pipe sucker. He sucks the sewer pipe.
I was not concerned that Kissinger would sue Harper's Magazine, because then Kissinger, would have to go to some form of legal disclosure. I mean, if you accuse the magazine or you accuse Hitchens of libel, then that allows our lawyers to ask questions and subpoena documents and try to establish the truth of the matter, and that is not something I think that Kissinger would welcome.
Despite all his ideological hostility to us, Mao was ready to. Russia has, in a way, already lost the war because the capacity it had in the entire post-World War II period.
A professor at Harvard, where I became a graduate student more than 5 decades ago, and my professor was Henry Kissinger.
I made some observations here about how to conceive the end of the war in Ukraine. It was not fully understood what the intention was. And so let me repeat and expand on some of these principles. The war in Ukraine began with the invasion of a sovereign country, and the principle that this must not be a method of settling international disputes was established by NATO and strongly supported by the United States. And I have strongly supported the efforts to do so. We are now at a point when many of the objectives have already been achieved. It has been demonstrated that a conventional attack from Russia on Europe will find united resistance, and that Russia probably does not have the capacity to overcome it.
Lawyers in Washington, D.C. are planning to file a lawsuit this week in federal court against former National Security Advisor and Secretary of State Henry Kissinger. The plaintiffs are the family of General Rene Schneider, who was commander-in-chief of the Chilean army when he was killed in 1970 during a kidnapping attempt. The general's widow and 3 of his children contend that the
Ended by the adherents of Finland and Sweden. And so the strategic objective has importantly been achieved. But the outcome of the war will involve also where various lines should be drawn in the process of preventing the war from escalating and causing damage beyond what existing levels. And so I proposed last year, and I think again, that a ceasefire along the lines of invasion is the reasonable outcome of the military actions, but not necessarily the outcome of a later peace negotiation, which would be conducted under ceasefire.
On the grounds of the indictment on which you have been convicted, the tribunal sentences you to death by hanging. Joachim von Ribbentrop, death by hanging. Fritz Sauckel, death by hanging. Julius Streicher, death by hanging. Wilhelm Frick, death by hanging. Hans Frank, death by hanging. Alfred Rosenberg, death by hanging. Wilhelm Keitel, death by hanging.
I'm so happy. I'm like, look at this sauce, holy. Oh. Oh.